Hare Krishna, Jennifer. You are the only one today here. Let's see if there are someone who will join later on. Hare Krishna, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
So today we will see the pastime of Holi, which is actually very elaborately described in Kavi Karnapur's Ananda Vrindavana Campu. There are also some other books where we hear about Holi in Krishna Bhavanamrita Mahakavya from Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur and also in Govinda Lilamrita. But here it's particularly elaborated, and it has been a little bit challenging for me to make it in one reading session. I had to condense the text, but I hope it will be still wonderful. It's difficult because anytime you take something out, you think, oh, but that's so nice. Okay, so we are ready to start. There is just one point I would like to share in this beginning, because this pastime of Holi, like many other pastimes of Krishna, doesn't seem to have like a particular teaching to take with us. And sometimes those pastimes are there. My spiritual master will say it's like therapeutic hearing. Just you hear about the pastimes of Krishna and it just purifies your heart. It has an impact. But I was remembering how it's just so beautiful how Krishna is playing Holi, and how everything is just so playful and light. And I was thinking this is like an invitation for us to go to the spiritual world. And I found actually a very nice quote from Prabhupada, and I would like to share that quote first. We start. That will be for after. Okay. Yeah, Jennifer, maybe you like to read the quote?
Okay. Now, Krishna says, Dhiras tatra namuhyati, Bhagavad Gita 2:13. A sober man is not perplexed at the time of death. If you prepare yourself for death, why should you be perplexed? For example, if in your childhood and boyhood you prepare yourself nicely, if you become educated, then you will get a nice job, a nice situation, and be happy. Similarly, if you prepare yourself in this life for going back home, back to Godhead, then where is your perplexity at the time of death? There is no perplexity. You'll know, I'm going to Krishna. I'm going back home, back to Godhead. Now I'll not have to change material bodies. I'll have my spiritual body. Now I shall play with Krishna and dance with Krishna and eat with Krishna. This is Krishna consciousness, to prepare yourself for the next life.
Thank you. Thank you, Jai Prabhupada. Yes, very beautiful. So we can see that we are preparing ourselves for our next life. I was remembering Prabhupada also was giving the analogy: if you if you want to go to a place you don't know, let's say you go to China, then you will prepare yourself and read books about China, culture, finance, and you will prepare yourself. So our desire is to go also at the end of this life back to Godhead. So this reading today is our preparation to enter into the kingdom of God. So we will go and offer our obeisances. Holi is played, I don't think in the scriptures there is any particular place mentioned for the playing of Holi, but in Braj it's definitely played everywhere. And I will say especially in Varshana and Nandagram. And there is like some huge competition between all the ladies of Varshana and between all the men of Nandagram. So I thought, let's go to Varshana. This is the courtyard of the temple of Radharani, and we can there offer our obeisances. Please watch carefully the picture. The sun is slowly rising. And please close your eyes and imagine you're entering now into your screen and finding yourself in the other side, in Sri Vrindavan Dham, the Varshana Dham. And please offer your humble obeisances on the floor. You can feel the dust of Vrindavan touching your body, and maybe even some color powder are there somewhere on the floor. Remember your spiritual master and ask him for the permission and blessings to serve the Lord by hearing his pastimes. So we move to the next, the first meditation. Today we will have only one meditation because the reading is a little longer. So for sake of time, we will have only one meditation. And that was Krishna when he was playing with the boys coming down the road in the forest of Vrindavan. And they were throwing powder that were sticking in Krishna's eyebrows, Krishna's turban, Krishna's tilak, and yeah, everywhere. So we can keep the look nicely at the picture. A lot of joy, a lot of fun is there. And Mataji Tanu, would you like to read the meditation?
Yes, thank you, Prabhuji. Soon Krishna and his boyfriends inaugurated the spring festival of Holi by singing, dancing, and throwing balls of fine reddish powder in all directions. The lightweight, sweet smelling powder just floated in the air. As it gradually fell down, it beautifully colored and scented Krishna's turban, hair, eyelids, and tilak. Soon Krishna and his boyfriends inaugurated the spring festival of Holi by singing, dancing, and throwing balls of fine reddish powder in all directions. The lightweight, sweet smelling powder just floated in the air. As it gradually fell down, it beautifully colored and scented Krishna's turban, hair, eyelids, and tilak.
Please close your eyes and try to visualize the picture we were seeing and hear the last time reading.
Soon Krishna and his boyfriends inaugurated the spring festival of Holi by singing, dancing, and throwing balls of fine reddish powder in all directions. The lightweight, sweet smelling powder just floated in the air. As it gradually fell down, it beautifully colored and scented Krishna's turban, hair, eyelids, and tilak.
Keep the image in your mind and try to remember what you heard. Okay, so we are ready to start with the reading for today. Of course, it's not springtime anymore. We are now in the midst of summer, but we will see in the reading that sometimes seasons can change according to please Krishna. Sometimes the season can change time. So let's see if we will find ourselves in spring. Okay, so let's start with the reading. Golokavasini Mataji, would you like to start the reading?
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji. Yes, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Thank you. Chapter 14, the Spring Festival of Holi. As the rising sun beautified the blue sky with a brilliant light, Krishna got up and dressed gorgeously like a dramatic actor. Taking his cows and friends, he entered the forest of Vrindavan. Every day, Nanda Nandana, who satisfies the desires of all surrendered souls, roamed and played in the forest in order to remove the distress of separation felt by the forest deer, birds, and creepers. When Krishna went to the forest, Batu, a nickname for Madhu Mangal, decided to wander alone in the village of Gokul. He had a plan to open a treasure box of good fortune for the residents of Vrindavan. Batu looked somewhat funny with his thick neck and slightly bent over body as he strolled down the road. Upon seeing him, the aristocratic mothers-in-law of the gopis suddenly approached him and welcomed him with great affection. In a submissive tone, they said, "O wise one of keen intelligence, have you studied the Vedas that ornament every man of knowledge?" Smiling slightly, Batu replied, "Oh, I am a powerful astrologer, fully versed in the Agmas. What is the use of studying other scriptures which are not very palatable to the intelligence?" The elderly gopis said, "O best person in the world, please tell us what profound truth you have discovered in all your studies." Batu jokingly replied, "Hung ho, O best ladies of Vrindavan, shines with great power and influence. By studying astrology, one can know the good and bad events of the past and also predict the auspicious and inauspicious things that will happen now.
Hare Krishna Mataji, I think we have lost you.
And turn the possible into the impossible. My voice is cracking, Prabhuji.
There was actually quite of a long time we did not hear you, but now we hear you again.
I'm so sorry. I'll sit near the internet. I'll sit.
No problem. Just keep reading. We could follow the reading on our own. What was written. So you just keep reading.
The gopis replied, "Bravo, well done. All glories to you. This time is just suitable to ask you a few questions. As dakshina for your service, we will offer you many rich, tasty laddus. We have a very confidential question that we cannot ask inside our houses. Please dispel our doubt. Is there any person on earth or in heaven who will not use his knowledge to benefit others?"
Thank you. And Divya Kishori, would you like to continue?
Smiling, Batu said, "If you give me many cows," Smiling, Batu said, "If you give me many cows with full milk bags, I will bestow my mercy upon you. I am a wise Brahmin, And by consulting the planetary transits, I can tell you exactly what is auspicious and inauspicious. Hidden with me is the power of omniscience. In a jubilant mood, the gopis said, the wealth of cows is like dust particles for us. If you answer our question, we can give you whatever you want from this world. We are chaste housewives of Vrindavan and are not feeling the slightest misery. But we have one unsolvable problem. Although our daughters-in-law are as beautiful as lotus flowers, they are not the least bit happy. From the day of their marriages, they have been deaf to the names of their husbands. What to speak of looking at them? Where in the world can one find such ladies that find absolutely no joy in being with their husbands? Even to this day, they are proud and show aversion towards them. This problem has made us completely miserable. We want to resolve this. If you can solve the problem, your fame will spread all over the world. First, Bhattu acted like a big acharya by spending a long time in silent contemplation before responding, then smiling slightly and behaving comically like some big orator. He jokingly said, "Oh, auspicious ladies, although I'm Krishna's friend, my happiness will be turned if he finds out that I am helping his antagonist. Therefore, you must keep these things secret and not tell anyone. O cultured ladies, there are two kinds of defects seen here, one material and other spiritual. Your daughters are adverse because their husbands are full of material defects, such as bad behavior and ugliness. Everyone knows about this. So, what is the use of applying the wisdom of astrology to solve this problem? Now, listen attentively as I explain the transcendental factors. Here in Vrindavan, there is one yogini who is against you. Her lotus feet are worshipped by the best of the yogis. By her incredible mystic power, she can bring anyone under her control. And she can even split the sun in half. That playful yogini is known as Yogamaya. By her illusory potency, she made it look like your sons are married to particular gopis. Yogamaya then propagated the fact among the ignorant to make them think it was a real marriage. She also created the bad qualities in your sons and the antagonistic mood found in your daughters-in-law. Your daughters and their husbands are not fit to live together. Therefore, Yogamaya has personally prohibited your sons from even touching their wives. Using her tremendous power, Yogamaya will soon make your daughters-in-law give up any sense of being married to your sons. But if you are very affectionate towards your daughters-in-law, then that yogini will become favorable and help you.
Thank you. Abhijit Gupta, are you able to read?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Surely, thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Okay. Moreover, if you want your sons to become fortunate, then you should make sure that they do not even touch their wives. Your sons are very unhappy when they hear that Krishna tracks their wives and forcibly embraces them with his long serpentine arms. But soon your sons will become very happy and prosperous when their wives glance favorably upon them like the goddess of fortune. Although overwhelmed by the Batu's word and feeling great distress, the elderly gopis hoped that something auspicious would happen soon. In that mood, the gopis said, "O Batu, you are the embodiment of truth. Surely your words are not the statements of a mere child, but rather the wisdom of an omniscient Brahmana. Indeed, you are a competent astrologer. Now please show us the power you have obtained by mastering the agamas. Please teach us how to carefully worship the appropriate demigods so that we can prevent the yogini from harassing our sons." Madhumangal said, "You can appease that angry yogini by the worshipping another demigod who is supremely pure, imperishable, and infallible." Gaining relief from Batu's word, the elderly gopis expressed their appreciation by offering him a valuable necklace. Batu said, "O fortunate ones, you are very effulgent and your speech sounds like lovely singing. There's a demigod named Kandarpa who resides in Vrindavan as a Kunjadev, the personified lord of the love groups. His body is color of a rain cloud. He is ever youthful and transcendental. That yogi, Yogmaya, who enchants all the demigods, always remains submissive to this youthful personality known as Kandarpa. By his sweet will, Kandarpa satisfies the cherished desires of the gopis, whose eyes are beautiful with kajal. If you can please this demigod, then you will always be happy. But if you anger him, even Shankar Mahadev cannot stay. That demigod delights in sporting from one forest grove to another. Although no one can see him, those who worship him with unalloyed devotion can see him in meditation. The method of his worship is very difficult and it must be performed at exactly the right time. Only those who perform meritoriously works can worship him.
Listen attentively as I describe how to worship him. First, you must adorn yourself with very costly jewels and smear your bodies with attractive ointments. Rejecting the opinion of others, you must give up shyness and go to Vrindavan to pick flowers. You must abandon all other talk and constantly fix your mind only on him. You must be free from any cheating mentality. You should go to one grove after another and worship that youthful Kandarpa 3 times a day with incense, lamps, flower, and fragrant substances. After the worship is finished, he will lay down on a bed of fresh tender leaves, remaining awake the whole night with his friends. If you do the puja, it will perfectly fulfill your cherished desire and will give you the power to control anyone in the world. Now go to a lonely place and nicely worship the Kunja Devata, just as a raging river spills over its banks similarly. By the flood of his mercy, you will overcome all unfavorable situations. In that way, Yogamaya will be powerless before you. Everything I told you is in the Agamas Jyoti Shastra. By doing this, you will also receive my favor.
Keep reading.
After successfully deceiving the old ladies with the secret teachings, which were laced with many funny hidden meanings, that brahmachari quickly left them. The elderly gopis affectionately accepted the word of that expert talker and returned to their homes. Without envy, they instruct their daughters-in-law to beam like the attractive flames of ghee lamps in the worship of Kunja Devata. The elderly gopis said, "O Bhauman," an affectionate term for the wife of one's son. "You come from a high-class family. Indeed, you are famous for your kindness and refined qualities. But we also see many defects in you that are not found even among the women on earth. One of your main faults is your aversion to your husband. We do not even want to see our enemies having this fault. Therefore, we will tell you a vrata, which we learn from the Brahmana Madhumangala. By happily observing this vrata, you can quickly remove these obstacles to your good fortune and make your husband happy and please your superiors. You must take a vow to wander through the kunjas of Vrindavan constantly, worshipping Kandarpa, the demigod who fulfills the desire of everyone." Not believing their ears, the daughters-in-law adopted a mood of astonishment and displeasure with this suggestion. The young gopis thought, "What are they saying? Are our mothers-in-law testing us? Or maybe they have discovered our secret love." Their minds vacillating in confusion, they sat down silently. Before making a response, they wanted to hear their mothers-in-law disclose everything from the beginning to end. The elderly gopi privately instructed them in the vows and methods for worshipping the devata known as Kandarpa. The younger gopis thought, our mothers are giving us joy and satisfaction by pouring this rasayana into our ears. Kusumasava has certainly created a grand festival for us.
Their bodies glowing with beauty and feeling great relief, the gopis spontaneously replied to their mother-in-law, "O cultured ladies of Vrindavan, are there any wives who will not submissively follow the instruction of their mother-in-laws? Even if we become lean and thin, we are ready to go to the forest and execute this vrata. Why should we waste our lives staying at home? We should not wait another minute. Let us go immediately. Your instruction given to increase our fortune sound as sweet as a melodious song." The daughters promised to follow the orders of their mother-in-law, who no longer prevented them from going to Vrindavan to pick flowers. Every day, those restless, fortunate girls joyfully went to Vrindavan. Instead of chastising them, their elders now praised and encouraged them. With great difficulty, the gopis tried to restrain the chariots of their minds and keep their composure as they walk past their superiors and relatives. Driven by minds permeated with Krishna prema, the gopis quickly arrived in Vrindavan. At that time, Krishna, adorned with a charming pearl necklace, played in a neighboring forest. Infatuated by their totally pure love for Krishna, the gopis, pulsated with desire to receive his delightful glance. The tender petals of the spring kunda flowers broke the fierce tusk of the elephant of winter. The spring season arrived in the form of a playful lion cub, showing his teeth as the stamens of the flowers. The southern breeze forced the chill of winter to depart. It appeared as if the nostril of personified time had now opened and started breathing in and out. The creepers look like pregnant ladies waiting to give birth to fresh flowers. With their gentle humming, the bumblebees inquired repeatedly from all directions about the location of spring. With the disappearance of winter, the forest beamed with delight, like a man feeling fresh and clean after bathing. Vrindavan is beautified with the different period of the 6th season manifested in different places. But to nourish Krishna's sweet pastimes, the sequence of season sometimes changes to suit his needs. Sometimes all the seasons combine, approach the Lord, and ask if they can serve him. The Chamari deer prepare the stage by sweeping the forest floor with their bushy tails. The honey nectar dripping from the flowers moisten the rich soil. Wandering Kasturi deer scented the air with the heady fragrance of musk. Swarm of intoxicated bees danced in mid-air and buzzed among the flowering creepers. Bhakti Jennifer, would you like to continue?
With the arrival of spring, Shyama Sundar, greedy for pleasure and full of prema, decided to stage a wonderful pastime to fulfill the desires of the girls of Gokul, whose hearts surged with Srigar Rasa. The hearts of the gopis moved with the speed of the wind to meet the Prince of Vrindavan, who embodies all good fortune. The Vana Devis incited the forest to explode with unlimited beauty and fresh fragrances. Krishna, the ocean of elegance, appeared like a dramatic artist dressed in colorful garments. The hearts of the moon-faced gopis throbbed with anxiety to meet their beloved. Overpowered by the intoxication of spring and a strong desire to attend the festival, Radhika, Chandravali, Shyama Devi, and all their respective girlfriends abandoned their shyness and ran to the forest. With great love and affection, Vrinda Devi and her Vana Devis appropriately decorated Radhika and gopis for the joyous festival of spring. They dressed them in colorful clothing suitable for the spring festival, fresh flowers, and the 16 types of ornamentation. Because the gopis had fixed their minds on the desire to attain Krishna, they felt a moment to be like a million millenniums. The Vana Devis were amazed at the sight of the assembled gopis that looked like a garden full of the best quality golden creepers. Vrinda felt very joyful as she personally decorated Radhika with flower ornaments. She set white lilies in her hair and placed a bakula garland across her hairline that seemed to kiss Radha's forehead. Then Vrinda Devi adorned Radha's hair part with deftly placed red asoka flowers, hung mango buds over her ears, and gave her Vasanti garlands. The different articles used to adorn the gopis came from the desire trees and creepers growing abundantly everywhere in Vrindavan. The desire trees also produce the flower bombs for celebrating Holi. These bombs, made of different colored perfume powders, packed in luck, were so fragile that they would break open just by breathing on them. The desire trees provided other weapons such as flower bows and arrows, pitchkaris, jeweled syringes for squirting liquid colors, and musk paste. Matangi, a Kinari goddess who is an acharya of music, and her female expert veena players came to play for the festival. The Vasant Raga spring tune personified accompanied Matangi as an attractively dressed woman. Powerful singing, attractive music, and the vibration of the Venas at that festival transported everyone into a realm of divine bliss. Hearing Matangi's musical concert, Shringaras personified entered the gopis' hearts and caused their lotus petal eyes to bloom wide.
Thank you. Mataji Tanu, would you like to continue?
Upon hearing the raga, Nanda Kishora, the embodiment of unlimited bliss, initiated a unique spring festival, which no one had ever seen before. While listening to the Vasant Rag, Krishna held a flute in his left hand and a ball of red powder in his right hand. Subal and other close friends stood beside him. Relishing that sweet song, Krishna moved his head in time with the tune. His eyes rolled in intoxication as if tired from conjugal pleasure. Some cowherd boys offered him fresh tambula wrapped in golden pan leaves. While relishing the tambula, Krishna's lips turned reddish from the drops of beetle juice. Soon Krishna and his boyfriends inaugurated the spring festival of Holi by singing, dancing, and throwing balls of fine reddish powder in all directions. The lightweight, sweet smelling powder just floated in the air. As it gradually fell down, the beautifully colored and scented Krishna's turban, hair, eyelids, and tilak. The Prince of Vrindavan, who disseminates limitless joy, played Holi with his young friends while dancing down the road towards the forest where the gopis had assembled. Batu jumped around continually while raising and lowering his head in a funny way as he led the party. The necklaces on his chest swung pleasantly from his comic movements. While making everyone laugh, Batu looked in all directions as if searching for something. In the distance, Batu heard the sounds and laughter of another holy festival. He heard the sweet jingling of the gopis' ankle bells and bangles as they rhythmically danced through the forest. He also heard the music of veenas, mridangas, mixing with the sweet singing of the sakhis as they stood in a circle clapping their hands. In a blissful mood, Madhumangal spoke to his dear friend. Oh Krishna, is it the echo of our own singing that we hear? Or is it someone else swing songs challenging ours? If it is not our singing, then let us find out who it is. Adorned with gems and ornaments, Krishna, the crest jewel of handsome youths, replied to Batu. O graceful one, that music is from someone else. But how come this music is mixing with ours and at the same time overpowering it? Go, find its source. Shortly after, Batu ran back and said, My dear friend, it seems your opulent spring festival will soon reach its climax. Vasant Lakshmi, the personified beauty of spring, and all her expanded potencies are not far from here. The gopis have collected more paraphernalia to celebrate Holi than can be found anywhere else in the creation of Brahma. Alas, I have seen great fun. Krishna, although you are the son of the king of Vrindavan, the size of your holy festival cannot compare with theirs. Krishna replied, Oh Batu, why are you glorifying and showing so much respect to the enemy? You should praise your own camp and not give them any importance. Of course, I understand the inner mood of your heart. It appears that you have become bewildered from drinking honey wine, and therefore you are acting like an intoxicated person. If you have not lost your enthusiasm, let go back and see what the gopis are up to. We will meet up with you later. Overwhelmed with joy, the
Oh,
humorous Batu.
I'm sorry, I think here I was forgetting to have another reader at the beginning of this page. Maybe we
Sure.
can continue with Goloka Vasini.
Yes, yes, Prabhuji. Yes, thank you. Overwhelmed with joy, the humorous Batu returned to the gopis. Then he said boldly, O Durlalita, foul player or mischievous Lalita Sakhi, on the order of my lotus eyed friend, you should immediately stop picking up our Madhavi flowers and get out of this forest. Otherwise, you will be severely punished. Lalita said, O shameless, deceitful Brahmana boy, why are you spoiling your aristocratic birth by blaspheming others? Although Radhika has many maidservants, she has personally come to perform this important Madan Cupid puja. So why have you come here blubbering like a crazy fellow? Batu said, Are Lalita, apart from Hari, what other Cupid is here? Krishna easily cuts down the pride of Cupid, maddens everyone with desire, and is always intoxicated by it himself. Ignoring the real Cupid, why have you become attached to worshipping some mundane Cupid? Obviously, you must be crazy. Listen, I will do you a favor and be the priest of your Madan Puja. I will chant the benedictory mantras and guide you in performing splendorous worship of Cupid. Now come along and I'll take you to him. Radhika said, Hey Lalite, this expert Brahmana is certainly worthy of our worship. Tell Chandravali and Charu Chandra to bring good fortune to our village by respectfully worshipping this priest. Overcome by the spirit of Holi, Chandravali and Charu Chandra forcibly grabbed Batu and covered him from head to toe with varieties of red and purple colors to make him look just like Bhaturaj Shiva, Bhutraj Shiva, the king of the ghosts. Madhumangal screamed, Hey Krishna, the shameless gopis have gone crazy. I cannot run away because they have blinded me with sindoor, kumkum, and other fragrant powders. I am also stunned from the colored water they threw over me. Krishna, quickly save me before they commit the sin of a killing of a Brahmana. Hearing Batu's loud crying in the distance, Krishna understood that the simple girls of Vrindavan had diminished his reputation. Running there quickly with his friends, Krishna said, Hala, hala, oh, oh, what a funny scene. The proud gopis glanced at Krishna with a mixed mood of fear, respect, and shyness. Seeing Batu sad, silent, and totally defeated, Krishna pretended to be angry and said, Hung ho, why have you loved blinded ladies, abused and harassed my innocent friend? Which lowly person is responsible for this offense? Now you will be justly punished.
Thank you. And Divya Kishori?
Hare Krishna. Krishna, an expert fighter, attacked the gopis by hitting them with a volley of Ashoka flower balls. The celestial demigoddesses enthusiastically glorified Krishna. Afterwards, a fierce fight broke out between the Gopas and the Gopis. They threw fragrant red powder balls and squirted each other with heavenly scented, colored water that felt soft and soothing. Being light in weight, the colored powders just floated and swirled around in the sky to block the sun and create dense darkness. Although nobody could see each other, both sides fought equally. Suddenly, Krishna boldly entered the phalanx of gopis. Vibrating like the sweet sound of Cupid's drum, Krishna's flute resounded triumphantly during the battle. The gopis fought heroically in that war against their beloved Sham. To counteract the weapon of Krishna's enchanting flute, the gopis surrounded him and shot him with the sharpened arrows of their sidelong lances. Somehow, Krishna mounted a ferocious counteroffensive and got free from the clutches of the gopis. But being greedy for more pastimes, Krishna pulled back the bowstring of his dancing eyebrows and shot the gopis with a samkrasvapana, sleep-inducing arrows of his glance. Instantly, the gopis felt dizzy and drowsy. Totally fatigued, they yawned and rolled their eyes lazily. Slumping forward, they fell asleep with their chins resting on their chest. Seeing her army stunned and immobilized, Chandravali, the commander-in-chief of the doe-eyed ones, boldly stepped forward to display her prowess. She tried to pierce Krishna's heart with her fluttering eyelids and arrow-like lances. Attempting to enchant the enchanter of the world, she locked Shamsundar in a tight embrace with her snake-like arms. After some time, Krishna gave up his rapture and resumed his attack on the phalanxes of gopis. Krishna appeared like an elephant, trumpeting joyfully while trampling clumps of lotuses in a forest. The battlefield looked astonishing after the fog of colored powders settled. Red powder completely covered both the gopis and the sporting field. The colored water and musk drop dripping off the bodies of the gopis muddied the ground. The gopis' defeat drowned Madhumangal in an ocean of happiness. Raising his arms, he joyfully danced and shouted, Hey, hey, well done, bravo! In my whole life, I have never felt so good. Oh, Muralidhar, that's what they get for putting your dear friend into such extreme distress. Just see how the gopis' puja paraphernalia is strewn here and there. Their hair, faces, and bodies are covered with colors. They got just what they deserved. But alas, my dear friend, we better watch out, because they can outwit anyone in Brahma's creation. If they again join forces with the leader Radharani, they will jointly attack us in great numbers. Driven by anger, those gopis who are hostile by nature could do anything to us. So let us run away from here before that happens. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Abhijit, Gupta, Prabhu.
Yes, Hare Krishna. While smiling, some cowherd voice said, "Talkativeness is Patu's nature before. Because of his fickle mind, one minute he acts boldly, and the next moment he shivers in fright. O Krishna, console Batu and keep him from panicking and becoming disturbed again." Krishna said, "O Kusumavasa, um, give up your coward eyes. Show me those gopis whom you fear. Why should you be afraid in my presence?" Feeling reassured and confident, Kusumavasa continued the battle. Boldly jumping forward, he pointed towards the gopis and said, "This way, this way." Krishna and the cowherd boys went to the garden of Madhavi, creepers wherein Radhika, Lalita, and other Sakhis picked flowers. In great joy, the gopis attacked Hari with millions of restless sidelong glances. Krishna shot back the arrow of his love-laden glance, hitting Radhika. That arrow pierced the armor of her shyness to release a splendor that radiated in all directions. Radhika retaliated with the arrow of her sidelong glance, which was coated with the deadly poison of the kadu, surrounding her beautiful blue eyes and sharpened by her brightly beaming smile. That arrow mercilessly pierced the heart of Krishna. Seeing his friend completely devastated by Radha's glance, Batu swelled in ecstasy, shaking Krishna's hand and turning his head from side to side. Batu said, "My dear friend, do not become bewildered why I am here to help you. Take this flower bomb and drench them in colors. Alas, what is impossible for one who has a friend like me?" Though weary from the pastime of Holi, Krishnanandini suddenly gained new enthusiasm. Radhika's eye bloomed wide and her eyebrows moved elegantly, like the movements of a swan. Her golden bangles ran loudly proclaiming victory as she took a vermilion flower bomb in her lotus palm and fired it at Krishna's chest to stroke Krishna's rapture. Then, to the delight of all the Gopas and Gopis, Krishna sprung into action, grabbed a flower bomb, and chased after Radhika. He looked just like an angry lion whose sleep had been interrupted. Radhika smiled slightly and hid amongst her girlfriends. Catching Shyamsakhi, Krishna smeared colors on her hair, forehead, and cheeks. Then, eager and full of passion, Krishna approached Radhika and said, "Oh, proud girl, come here and show your strength by throwing these balls at me." Being overwhelmed by Radhika's presence, Krishna smiled slightly and cast a sidelong glance as he moved closer to his beloved.
Radhika shouted a command. "Oh, Sakis, surround him and smash him with your flower bombs." With indistinct voices sounding like sweet cuckoos, the Sakis chanted, "Gero, Gero, surround, Maro, Maro, kill him." The effulgent young gopis almost captured Krishna, the relisher of transcendental bliss. The sportive son of Nanda Maharaj struck back by splashing the gopis with a volley of colors. The gopis responded with a shower of flower bombs. Aiming his jewel pitchkaris, Krishna completely drenched the gopis with the streams of fragrant kumkum and sandalwood scented water. Although repulsed by Krishna's furious attack, the gopis regrouped and repeatedly tried to capture him. The colored waters of Holi washed away every bit of the gopis' shyness. Encouraged by their increased number, spontaneous affection, and agitated heart, the gopis surrounded their beloved just like the moonbeams encircling a cloud. All the direction reverberated with the sweet love songs of Matangi and a host of kinnaris accompanied by venas and other musical instruments. Their bangles, shimmering sweetly like the chirping of the intoxicated sparrows, the gopis raised their lotus stem arms and again attacked Krishna. This time, instead of resisting, Krishna pretended to be too weak and tired to fight back. On the pretext of resting and catching his breath, Krishna stopped playing for a short time. While Krishna rested, the gopis stole his flute, pitchkari, flower bow, and arrows. One clever gopi even tried to remove Krishna's ornaments. But Radhika stopped her with a hint of her eyebrows because she did not want Krishna to be humiliated in his defeat. Then Radhika tenderly wiped the perspiration and colored powders from Krishna's lotus face with the edge of her sari. Radha deeply relished the sweetness of serving her beloved hero after the battle. Taking tambula from the hand of a maidservant, Radhika put it in Krishna's mouth. With a movement of her eyebrows, Radhika directed Shamasaki to gently fan her lord. Seeing the gopis covered in colored powder, Madhumangala laughed and danced about while moving his shoulders and twisting his neck. He loudly shouted, "Hey, oh Subal and my friends, we have won! Today Krishna has broken the pride of the famous daughter of King Vrishabhanu. Now she spontaneously serves him like a humble maidservant. What could be more amusing? Although our dear friend Krishna is slightly exhausted from the battlefield of Holi, he shines gloriously with his triumph. How could Krishna not be victorious with a counselor like me?" And after saying this, Batu happily raised his arm and danced about blissfully. All the gopis and gopas thoroughly enjoyed the funny antics of Batu. Overwhelmed with delight and satisfaction, Radhika kindly gave him her own pearl necklace. Everyone experienced the greatest happiness by playing Holi. Concluding the festival of spring, Krishna played his flute and walked away with his friend. Radha, who is expert in the 64 arts, relished unlimited happiness during the holy pastime. Pleased with the superb musical performance of Matangi and their associates, Radhika gave them many valuable presents and dismissed them. Afterwards, Radhika and her friends relaxed in a beautiful mango grove, wherein Krishna had often played. Joking and laughing, Radhika and her intimate Sakis then enjoyed a sumptuous feast.
Please close your eyes as we go through the final meditation for today. Oops. See Madhumangal strolling down the road of Vrindavan, funny with his thick neck and slightly bent over body. The village ladies glorify him. When they heard about his omniscient power, they reveal their problems. Their daughter-in-law do not care for their husbands. See the faces of the elderly gopi when they heard Madhu Mangal speak about Yogamaya, who was against them. Hear Madhu Mangal explaining the particular puja for Kandarpa. Remember how Madhu Mangal spoke with hidden meanings and had quite some fun to make this arrangement. See the elderly gopis trying to convince their daughter-in-law to worship Kandarpa. Try to feel how the gopi reacted, not knowing if it was a test or if they knew about their love with Krishna. The heart of the gopis moved with the speed of the wind to meet the Prince of Vrindavan. See Vrinda Devi and the Vana Devis decorating Radharani and the gopis for this festival. Hear the beautiful sound of Matangi singing the Vasantaras with veena and many instruments. See Krishna and his friends singing, dancing and throwing balls of fine reddish powder in all directions. See the fine powder falling on Krishna's white turban, hair, eyelids, and tilak. Suddenly the boys heard the sound of another festival. Krishna sent Batu to get information about what's happening there. When Madhu Mangal came with the fear of their great holy equipment, Krishna sent Batu back to tease the gopis. Batu confronted the gopis, but they decided to worship him with colors, making him look like Bhuttaraj Shiva. Hear the loud calling of Batu. Help! Help! In your mind's eyes, please see and remember this beautiful Holi festival. So, thank you very much for joining us in this beautiful journey today. Very astonishing. I don't know if you have anyone who would like to share something, if you have any reflections, any thoughts, any pictures, any windows into the spiritual dimension that was touching your heart you would like to share. Yes, Tanu. Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. So, one point I really liked from today's class was how everyone became attracted by Krishna's sweet glances. So, it reminded me of a point you shared in our previous Bhagavatam class, that if we want to be safe from Cupid's attraction, we should always stay under Krishna's beautiful glances. So I was remembering this point. And another point I liked, how Srimati Radharani, she was so happy even after losing the game, and lovingly offered her pearl necklace to Krishna. So it made me realize that in the spiritual world, even losing is a victory, because everyone only wants to give happiness to Krishna. So, yes.
Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you very much. Someone else, Golokavatsini Mataji, do you have anything you keep from the reading? Any picture, thoughts?
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji. First of all, thank you, Mataji and Prabhuji, for this platform where we tend to see the glimpses of my spiritual world. And yes, I like actually. Since my childhood, I like to have fun, but the the my age is growing, and so I feel that because we hear so much philosophy and we are aware of our anarthas and so many material problems, so somewhere or other that is lost. So I my nature is to have fun and to laugh loud, and like this. So after reading and hearing this, so I'm sure that yes, the best way to go there in the spiritual world and have fun with Krishna and his friends. So this desire to go there, yeah, it was coming. So that for that, thank you very much.
Thank you, Mataji, for sharing. Jennifer, do you have anything in the treasure house of your heart?
Hare Krishna. Yeah. I think what really stays with me today is just this, actually very strong impression of, all the colors and this festival that's going on eternally in the spiritual world. And thank you so much for taking us there, because it's really, I feel like, before there was so much in my mind, like, I don't know, I have so many things at the moment which are distressful. But now after this reading, somehow it's just a very strong impression. And and as you said in the beginning, maybe there is not like a very deep lesson to it or so, but it's just this nature of the spiritual world, that it's actually so playful and light, and so thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Jennifer. Actually, I was reminded it is described that in Surya Kund there used to be a great devotee, Baba Madhusudan Babaji, who was doing it. He was living, I mean, Gokishore Das Babaji also was living in Govinda Kund at that time. And one day he was walking from Surya Kund to Varshana because he wanted to visit Varshana. And in the middle of the field, he just fainted. And then the villagers found him. And when they found him, he was covered with colors of Holi. And it was explained that in his mind, he entered into the spiritual dimension and was playing Holi into the spiritual world. And when he came back in his consciousness, he was lying in the field, but his body was covered with color. So when I was hearing these pastimes, I was remembering how great devotee are so absorbed in it that eventually they enter the divine pastime. Divya Kishori, do you have anything also to share?
Hare Krishna. Yes, Prabhuji. I was remembering the last year Sharanagati retreat where everybody was taken to Gulal Kund. So I remember the joyfulness of Krishna Murari Prabhu and his brother. So we had planned that we will only throw colors, but we'll just put the colors in the air, just like we were reading today that everywhere there was like what we say, layers of colors resting like fog. So at present we were thinking just we'll put like in the air, but how the festival started and everybody, then the water started, then the muddy, like we read today. So I was just remembering that, and it's one of the very beautiful festivals I like from Braj, Holi, because it's just very joyful, very playful. So yeah, I am just remembering, and so many bhajans of Braj are coming into my mind just by reading this pastimes. So very, very grateful. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Abhijit Gupta Prabhu, I think you were posting something in the chat about your. Okay, I'm not sure if I get it. But if you would like to say something, you're most welcome.
Yes, Prabhu, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much for today, Prabhuji. I just wrote that I just totally forgot how much I love stories. So while reading today's, what you shared, I just got reminded that I love stories and I should continue reading it. Uh, and when I was reading, I was just trying to feel what uh, Gopas and Gopis would feel being closer to Krishna, and how much love they would feel, how much love they would receive from Krishna. And also, one thing I want to take home back is I'm an overthinker, so why not overthink Krishna's pastime?
Very nice. Thank you. Thank you. So we'll ask Vajanti. She has one full page of notes from the reading today.
It was super beautiful, I also feel. And yeah, Samaradi also, like Jennifer was saying, yeah, because still we are in this condition body and mind, but by reading this is like kind of uplifting us to a different dimension. Then from there we look at, okay, this is part of life, as I would say, happiness and distress, but it gets, for me at least, it looks differently when you look from this perspective. So that's very, very good. Like Prabhupada was saying, actually, so we are like practicing, training ourselves so that when we leave this body, it would be just like, okay, now I'm going there. Like Kavasini Mataji say, the Holi, lila. But I like one thing I like very much at the beginning when Batu, the character of Batu, was really fantastic in all this, in all of this reading. But also just at the beginning when he was keep speaking with the older gopis, and the older somehow rather I felt, how is possible? Don't they know? I mean, everyone knows Krishna and Madhumanga, don't they know? But so simply with the simplicity of heart that they accepted just what Batu said. And like everyone in Vrindavan, everyone, it's like a dramatical performance. So everyone knows Krishna, everyone loves Krishna, everyone, they want to actually give pleasure to Krishna, but with this simplicity of heart, they just say yes. I was just thinking also of this simplicity of heart as a quality that to develop also to enter the spiritual world. And I appreciated very much also many of the descriptions, like also the first one of the spring, when the winter was like a elephant, and the spring was like a playful lion cub. And yeah, there were all these bumblebees actually were going around here and there because there was a fragrance. Where is spring? Where is spring? Where is spring? So I like the bumblebees many times are appearing. And and like everyone then participated to these pastimes. Like then the stage, because the old Vrindavan's forest is preparing, is like the stage is preparing for. So I mean, Vrinda was dressing, but then there was, it was yes, so the deer were cleaning up the stage. Then there was the masked deer. They were putting fragrance everywhere, and then the nectar from flowers. So I really loved also very much this all like as usual, like this painting with words like that we can see. No, even we are not there, but it's like it seems our Goswamis, they are just so merciful that they really want to show us how is the spiritual world, how it looks, so that we really want to go there. So this is also, I feel, very much a display of how much the Vaishnava are merciful. Like in the Bhagavatam, we say that actually the Acharya, the Vaishnava, they cross this material world, but they leave behind the boat for us. So I feel that these books are like a boat for us, that we can easily go on this boat with our mind, and then we can easily be crossed to the spiritual world, leaving aside all the shelf of the material body. Like, so that I like very much.
Thank you. I liked when there was this analogy when Madhu Mangal was telling about the worship of Kandarpa. He was saying it's a very difficult one needs to do a lot of things. And then he say, and no one can see Kandarpa, but one who worship him can see him in the heart. And I felt also, yes, I'm not able to see Krishna or whatever from the spiritual dimension, really from my external vision, but it can be actually seen inside of the heart. And I also the old things was just like extremely beautiful. And I think when the Vana Devis, they saw all the gopis that were dressed, she felt it's like a garden full of the most beautiful golden creepers or something like this. It was like, wow, such a beautiful picture. I had an interesting thought coming this morning during my japa about all that, because this is a great fun. This is a game, but at the same time, it's a battle, and they are fighting with each other. And I was remembering some years ago, I think it was during the COVID time in Golokadam, we had a lot of tensions into the temple community, especially temple devotees of different opinions and like this. And we had an Istagosti where we were really struggling. And at the end of the Istagosti, one devotee, it was during the winter, there was snow outside, and one devotee said, okay, let's all go out and we do a snowball battle. And we started to fight each other with throwing a snowball at each other. And we felt actually very relieved. It was a battle, and we had some anger, we had some bad stuff in our heart, but we were still lovingly fighting with each other. And today I was remembering that, and I felt, yes, it's a game, it's a play, but at the same time there is the intensity of a battle into that. And then the thought came that in life also we are battling against, like Golokavasini, against our anarthas, against this and that, and our mind is preoccupied for this and that. I thought it would be so nice to see actually we are in a play, and time to time we get one ball. Sometimes we get some color here and there, in the sense to not take all the things that life throw at us too serious, but to see it, okay, it's a game, and most probably I have something to learn out of it. So thank you for joining. Hope the color will remain in the air for the entire day, maybe entire week, and that maybe we will dream of it or see it in our mind's heart. And and keep our heart touched by those beautiful loving exchange and beautiful loving scenes. So wish you a wonderful day, and Krishna willing, we meet next Saturday for a reading. It's actually not 100% sure we'll manage to do it next week, but we will keep you informed. All the best, all glories to His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, for giving us this jewel of Krishna consciousness, and wishing you all the best. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much.
They will